Welcome to Petcetera. My name's Krista. If you've been to the Humane Society's website, you may have seen a column called Success Stories. And those are stories about animals that have been adopted, and it has pictures of them, and you can read through and see how they're doing in their new homes. And I was doing that this weekend, and I ran across a story that caught my eye. It's about Lucy the cat, who is known as Raven at the Humane Society shelter. And that one caught my eye because last fall, my husband and I were taking care of Raven before she was brought to the shelter. It all started one night last November when my husband came home and he announced he had a cat in the car. And I thought, okay, why do you have a cat in the car? And he said he had been working on his cabin. He's building the cabin, and it's way out in the woods. And all of a sudden he heard a meowing, and he looked up, and there in the porch was a skinny little black kitten, and looking kind of disheveled, and it was just meowing. And so there was nobody around, and it didn't look like this cat had a home. So he loaded her up in the car and brought her to our house. And I called the Humane Society to see if there was room at the shelter, and there wasn't at that time. Sometimes there's a wait for a few weeks. So we found a spot for her at our house. And we set up a nice little area there with blankets and food, and we thought, well, she needs a name. And since she's all black, we named her Raven. And soon she was chowing down on good kitten food and sleeping in our warm, soft blankets. And within about a week, she had put on a little bit of weight, because she had been so skinny I could feel her bones and everything. But she was starting to put on weight, and her eyes had brightened up. And then a couple weeks later, she had gained a little more weight and was ready to go to the shelter. And when there was a spot, I brought her in. And I think we would have kept her had we not already had 2 adopted cats, so we really didn't have room for more at that time. But after I brought her in, I checked on her a few times, and a month later I found out she had been adopted. And that's where the success story comes in, because I read on there that her name is now Lucy by her new family, and she's got a beautiful home to live in, and she's doing great. And the photo of her on the website shows this beautiful, healthy cat, and real shiny black fur, and I was so pleased to see she got a great home. And so she came from this skinny little kitten crying out for help to a healthy, happy cat in a forever home. And that's what the Humane Society is all about. It's helping these animals that need to find new homes, and that's why I choose to be a volunteer. Recently we had 2 animals get adopted from the shelter. One is a cat called Mowgli, and the other is a dog called Rocky. So they have new homes. This week we've got a featured dog, and her name is Leela. She's a female black lab retriever mix. She's 6 years old and weighs 85 pounds. She's already spayed. She did come in as a surrender. Her family sadly could no longer care for her. She's a very gentle, affectionate girl. She enjoys being around people and just loves attention. She already knows how to sit, stay, and down. She's housebroken and current on her shots. She takes treats nice, walks well on a leash, and comes when called. And she even knows the command to go into her kennel. She gets along with children and some other dogs. She's waiting for a nice, cozy home and a loving family. So you can come check out Leela at the shelter, or check her out on the website. That is www.hsofthelakes.org. And there are all sorts of animals up on the website for adoption. You can check those out. Or stop by the shelter, and that from Highway 10, you take Highway 59 about 2.5 miles north of town, and the shelter's there on the right. And it's open Tuesday through Friday, 12 to 6, and Saturday, 11 to 4. Phone is 847-0511. I did want to mention our raffle that's currently going on, and we've got 300 tickets available for $100 each, but the thing is, the first prize is $5,000, and the second and third prizes are $2,500. So these are big payout, and want to make sure you get your tickets now before they're sold out. The drawing will be held September 10th at 6 p.m. at the Speakeasy, and you do not be present to win. So go ahead and purchase a ticket. They're available at Speakeasy, the Little Easy, Mosaic Consulting, the shelter, of course, and any HSL board member. Also, in September, we've got a golf tournament going on. I think this is the second year for this one, second or third. It's called Paw for the Course, and that's being held at the Detroit Lakes Country Club. That'll be Friday, September 16th. It's a 4-player scramble, and it starts at 11 a.m. for registration, and the noon is when it starts. And for $60 a person, that includes 18 holes, a cart, and a meal following the event. And there are prizes for the top 3 teams. If you have questions or want to register, please contact Joanne. And her number is 218-849-9545. Or you can check on the shelter website. I think there's some info there too. So also another way to help out the shelter is kennel sponsorships. And you can check that out on the website. I think there's a form there. $35 a month for dogs and $25 a month for cats. And you get your little plaque on the kennel that you're sponsoring. So that's a great way to help out too. That's about all for this week. And join us again next week on Petcetera.